Hi, welcome to this webinar recording. My name is Justin Prince, and as you can hear from my voice, I have a little bit of a kind of a cold in the back of my throat. I've been on some long international flights here in the last couple of days to Australia and so on, and so it has kind of caught up to me. I haven't been able to get a ton of rest, so I'm excited and grateful to be able to share this time with you, to be able to share with you more about the Modere compensation structure, but I'm just going to ask you to bear with me with my kind of weaker voice. When we started this project, we were solving problems in the marketplace. And our number one problem we were looking to solve was, how do you create true lasting residual income for people in the direct sales world? And that to us came down to, the answer was two critical things. One is true customer orders and retail customer orders. The second thing is building a culture of developing and becoming a leader and developing competency and leadership within an organization. So we'll discuss four things today. We'll keep this moving. Now I'm going to get you into some of the nitty gritty on some of the percentages, but I'm also going to leave this webinar where you'd actually have some strategy. You'd have some game plans. You would actually know what you need to do today to go make a living for you and for your family. So we're going to discuss four things. Limitless customer pod commission, this very unique social retail model that Modere has, and how we can attract, retain, and grow customers better than any network that's ever existed. Number two is deep generational pay. Three is leadership matching bonuses. And four is this elite $1 million elite lifestyle bonus. So let's start with this limitless customer pod commissions. How does this work? Modere, as you know, is a pure online retail brand. So when you go to modere.com, you're having a complete retail experience. I'll have networkers, sometimes folks that have been in the direct sales industry, that will call me and say, where's the comp plan? Where's the opportunity? You know, they can't see that at Modere.com. That's all on purpose. It's all by design. It's part of the social retail model, because 95% of the U.S. population is not involved in direct sales, and most of them aren't looking to become involved in direct sales. So you send a unique little 6-digit code, like an Uber or a Gilt.com. Someone clicks on the code. They create a username and password. They're now your customer. They're now attached to you. This is an example of this happening. So this young man, he introduced his mom. His mom, in this case, didn't want to do the business part of our company, but she wanted to consume our products. Well, his mom is given a $10 give get. She can refer her friends to Modere.com using her code, giving them $10 off their first purchase. And then she gets a $10 credit on her next purchase when they make a purchase at Modere.com. You've seen this give get model work in some of the fastest growing retail brands in the world. Well, in this example, this young lady has a $71.98 purchase, and she has $21.60 left over. Now, here's what's really powerful. Ryan, who introduced his mom to Modere, he now just picked up 9 customers, because what happens is the company starts marketing to all 9 of those customers with flash sales, limited time offers, promotions, discounts. We did a 12 days of Christmas. With the 12th day, we did a flash sale of 25% off the entire site. We put in more customers in one day in December than at that point, our biggest customer month ever. We also we'll send out Wednesday wins for the customers. They can also get double reward points days. And you look at the branding and the marketing, and it feels much like a traditional retailer, like what we built with this Modere model. So all of those customers go into what we call customer pods. Now, there's no limit to how many customers you can have in your customer pod. So, for example, if your customers refer customers who refer customers who refer customers, all of those customers would count in your pod. Now, your customers don't take up any of your levels, like in your organization or within the structure of your organization. So they don't go in your level 1 or your level 2. The best way to think about it is they actually go into your level 0. They go into these pods. So one of the reasons in direct sales, people don't look to get customers oftentimes, it's because it takes up levels in their organization. It pushes volume away from them, pushes maybe leaders away from them. In this business, as you attract customers, the company starts marketing and working with your customers, building this brand loyalty, brand trust, getting them to repurchase and to share. And all of those customers are attached to you. We have people already in Modere that have literally hundreds and hundreds of customers in these pods. In fact, in the last 5 months, alone in the last 5 months, we've had over 5,000 customers shop at Modere.com that came to us from other customers. Now, that stat all in and of itself is very staggering. There's very few, if any, direct sales companies in the world that can say that. But what's more important is what that stat represents, where we're heading with this model. What this will look like in 1 more year or in 5 years and so on, with the retargeting and repurposing. The software we've purchased from Oracle, one of the largest software providers on earth, So again, 5,000 customers have come to Modere.com, and they've come through other customers, the company's marketing efforts to those customers. So you can make a great living building a customer base. This is one of the things I love about our plan, is that you can make a lot of money by developing and building and getting good at developing a customer base. Let me give you an example. The way to read this slide, when you have 500 points in your pod, now again, in your customer pod, what that means is that whether you introduce the customer or someone else did, or goes through that referral process, that $10 give, get referral process, all of those customers count as if you personally introduced them. So when you have $500 in your customer pod, you'll make a 20% commission. When you have $1,000 in your customer pod, you'll get a $100 monthly bonus and a 20% commission. When you have $2,000, you'll get a 20% commission and a $250 monthly bonus. When you have $3,000, you'll get a 20% commission and a $500 monthly bonus. And then $5,000 and $7,000, you'll get either a $750 or a $1,000 monthly bonus. Now, what's cool with this is there are also quarterly bonuses. As you hit and maintain, you also get those bonuses quarterly as well. So you can make up to 42% on your customers. We've had people that make great livings for themselves, whether it's hundreds of dollars a month, 500 to 1,000, or 2 or 3 or 4,000. They make that from their customer pods. We already in Modere, although we're only 18 months old, we have people who are already platinum 2s. We have many platinum 1s and platinum 2s. Now, for those of you who are used to building organizations of people, let me share with you the real power of what these customer pods can do, and with the power of the social retail model is we're putting in over time, literally millions upon millions upon millions of customers that you have this retail brand marketing to, talking to, building relationships, building trust. Some of us have seen a slide like this, and if you've been around the networking world, and it will say something like this. What you need to do is you get in and you recruit 3 people. They order, in this example, $100 of that company's products each month. Then what you do is you teach them to recruit 3 people who also order $100 of that company's products each month, and they recruit 3, they recruit 3, they recruit 3. And this is obviously a theoretical example. I don't think for any organization it's ever worked perfect where every person got their 3, but it gives the example of duplication and the power of what you can build with a network. Now, because of the regulators and the environment, the world's changing. You can't just go out and just only recruit people. You actually have to have customers at the end of the day. And again, for us, that was one of the key things we were looking to solve, is how do you build a massive customer base and still make it a great opportunity for people? So let me give you the power of what these customer pods could ultimately mean. Now, this is an example. This isn't a guaranteed of income, but just give you an idea. Let's say you did that same thing. You recruited a team of 3 people who recruited a team of 3 people, etc. But the difference is everyone was averaging 10 customers in those pods. So each person had an average of 10 customers in those pods. And these customers were ordering $100 of Modere products. Now, let me give you some stats just to kind of validate that this isn't just some kind of crazy theoretical example. Modere is 18 months old, and we're currently averaging 10 customers to every one what we call social marketer. So a social marketer would be a distributor or a rep. It's synonymous with those terms, but we call them social marketers. We're averaging 10 customers for every one social marketer. Our average spend per customer last month was $96. That was our average spend. Now, in our first 18 months, we're approaching 100,000 customers. We're projecting by the end of this year, which means we'll be under 2 years old, we'll have between 300,000 to 400,000 customers. Now, we haven't done that yet, but that's what our projections are. So we'll see if we can go hit those numbers. I don't know of any network in history that put in 300,000 to 400,000 customers in under 2 years. Not reps, customers. Now, here's our goal. Our goal is to have 10 million homes that join our mission to live clean. 10 million homes worldwide that join our mission to live clean. Well, let me just give you some math. Last month, we averaged $96 spent per customer. If we averaged $50 per customer, that was the average spend was 50. So basically half of what we're doing now. I actually think these numbers will increase, but let's just use the example that they decreased. At 10 million homes, we would be a $5 billion a year corporation. So at $5 billion a year, you'd be one of the largest direct sales models or companies, in the world. But more importantly than that is you would have literally created the new model. Social retail would be not only what direct sales companies would be trying to do, social retail would be what retailers, online retailers would be trying to do as well. So this customer pod concept is very powerful. The second thing is this, deep generational pay. So I'm going to make this quick. Sometimes when you're learning about a compensation plan, when you're new, you don't need to know all of these components, but if you're seasoned, you've been around, you'll understand the power of what I'm going to share with you. In most compensation plans, regardless of kind of the structure of the plan, a unilevel, binary, etc., but they'll pay on between typically about 6 to 9 levels of commission that you can earn within your organization. Modere, and so what will happen is you'll have people that will sit in these levels sometimes that will suck up, that will push volume away from you, because sometimes what happens in networking is you introduce somebody who introduces somebody who introduces somebody, and sometimes your best people are down in the depth of your organization. Maybe it's not someone that you personally introduced, it's someone that's on your 4th level or your 6th level or whatever the case might be, and sometimes the best people are down there. And we knew that's where we wanted you to be working. That's where you should work, is with your best people. So in this plan, what happens is all of these levels compress into one generation. And so what this means, the simplified version of what this means, is you can reach probably 3 to 4 times deeper within a group, and also which would equate to potentially 3 to 4 times more earning power. So over the course of your career in Modere, over the course of the next 10, 20, 30 years, for some of you that would mean thousands of dollars in difference, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and some people listening, literally millions of dollars, because it's revenue that you're being paid on that you otherwise would not be. So it's 8 generations of what we call senior consultants. Now, a senior consultant is someone that has 1,500 in volume. A senior consultant is someone that has 1,500 in volume. So it's a small organization, but you're 8 generations of 1,500 in volume. So the folks in between there can still get paid on all their customers. They can still start to build a really great customer pod themselves. But for them to start to reach into the generational unilevel, they would need to become a senior consultant. Let me talk to you about structure for a minute. Here's how the structure works. To max out Modere's plan, now you can build wider than this if you choose to. You can build a 4th line and a 5th line and beyond. There's no limit to the width that you can build for your organization. But to max out the plan, to become what we call an Elite 3, and Elite 3 is the top level of Modere's compensation structure, you need 3 teams, 3 lines. Now, let me share with you something that's very unique about how this works. We wanted you to focus at the end of each month on helping your teams to qualify and helping your volume to grow. But some plans, the structure requirements within the plan, in other words, if you don't personally sponsor people, or if someone in your team's not a certain rank or certain level, that line won't count for you. So in this plan, here's how it works. You need at least 1 team leader in each one of your teams. Now, a team leader is someone that has 3,000 in volume. So a team leader is someone that has 3,000 in volume. So it's a nice little size team, but it's also not a huge team. It's 3,000 in volume. Now, whether you personally sponsor someone who becomes a team leader, if you personally sponsor someone, place them on your 1st level, they become a team leader, that entire line, whatever volume comes from that line, will count for you. If someone in your team leads you to someone who becomes a team leader, this line will not only count for you, it will also count for these 2 as well. If someone in your upline were to place someone under you who ultimately develops into a team leader, they would not only count for you, they would count for this person as well as one of their teams that they need to become to rank through the plan. So to max the plan out, you would need at least 1 team leader in 3 different lines. Let me walk you through how the ranks work quickly. The first kind of rank in the plan is, we talked about this already, it's the senior consultant. To be a senior consultant, you need 1,500 in points, total points. That includes your customer and your team, total organizational points, all of your people that you've shared this with. And you would need at least 750 that you can count from a max leg. So in other words, you need at least 2 different organizations where you'd have 750 in at least each one of them. To become a team leader, you need 3,000 with 1,500 max leg. Then to become a senior team leader, it's 6,000 with 3,000 you can count from your biggest team, your max line. Now, we get into 3 levels of directors. Director 1, you need 1 qualifying line that has at least a team leader in it to be a director 1. You need 12,000 in volume, and you can count 7,000 from your biggest team. Director 2 is when you would need a second line to develop into a team leader, have at least 1 team leader in a second line. You'd have 25,000 in total volume, and you can count 15,000 from your biggest team. To Director 3, then at this point, you need a 3rd line to have at least 1 team leader in it, somewhere in the line. You need 50,000 in total volume, and then you can count 35,000 of that from your biggest team. After you leave the director ranks, you're going to go into what we call the elite ranks. There's 3 levels of elite. To be an elite 1, you'd have 3 lines with at least a team leader. You'd have 100,000 in total volume, and you'd have 70,000 max leg. Elite 2, 3 lines with at least a team leader. You have 200,000 in total volume. You can count 140,000 from your biggest leg. And then to be an elite 3, you would have at least a team leader in all your different 3 lines, 400,000 in total volume, and 280,000 max leg. Now, let's go into this next part. This next part is extremely powerful. So, limitless customer pods. These customer pods are very powerful, both because people can make a great living by building a customer base, which is great. Also, you can leverage the power of those customer pods as you build your organization. Then you can also leverage it through a leadership development bonus or leadership matching bonus. Let me walk you through how this works. So let's just use some assumptions here. Let's say that you hit elite 3. Our leadership development bonus begins when you hit director 1. But in this example, let's say that you're an elite 3. In other words, you're the top of the plan. Through your unilevel, you're probably making between 25 to 50,000 a month or more as an average, depending on your volume and your organization. So you're an elite 3. So from your 8 generation deep unilevel and your customer pods, you're probably making about $25 to $50,000 a month or more. Well, let's say that in your organization, someone develops into an elite 3. In other words, they develop into the very top of the plan. So they're making, let's use an illustration, they're making $50,000 a month from their 8 generation deep unilevel. Well, what that means is this. It means that you would receive a 22% match on their monthly residual check. So 22% of $50,000 in this example would be an $11,000 per month match every time they get their 8 generation deep unilevel residual check. You match on that. Let's say in that organization you have an elite 2, you match 20%, an elite 1, 18%, director 3, 16, director 2, 14, director 1, 12, all the way down to the team leaders in that organization. Now, this is showing a linear line. Organizations typically don't build that way. You might have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 elite 2s or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 elite 1s within one organization, one line. You'd be matching on all of those checks all the way down to your team leaders. Now, let me share with you the power of why this is, because compensation plans are about behavior, driving the right behaviors for people. If you're an elite 3 and you meet someone who's clear down in your organization, way, way, way down there, and they've got that spark in their eye, that's who you should work with probably. You should go invest your time and energy and talent in that person. Well, you know what happens when you invest in this person and you help their check increase. Your check as an elite 3 immediately increases because you're check matching a percentage of their monthly residual check. Now, here's what also happens. When this person's check goes up, the director 1 above them goes up. The director 2's check then goes up because the volume is basically burning from the bottom up. The volume is being built from the bottom up. The director 3's check goes up. The elite 1's, elite 2, elite 3's check goes up, which makes your overall 8 generational deep unilevel go up as well, which means your check goes up both from the check match as well as unilevel. Now, let me show this. The gentleman that originally helped us design this plan, he's worked literally from everyone from Avon to startups. He's the top compensation plan expert in the entire profession of direct sales. And his pedigree and his list would validate that statement. Well, he called us one day as he's doing all the modeling, and he says, there's something about your plan that just hit me. And he said, it's extremely powerful. He said, make sure you tell people about it. So let me tell you what he said. He said, when you're paid on your elite 3 organization, all of those leaders that we just showed are part of your elite 3 organization. In other words, they would all be represented within this block itself. So he said you're being paid on your organization one time, which is fair because you build it. You should be paid on it. You're paid one time on that organization. But he said when you check match on all of those leaders' checks that are already within your organization, he said you're paid one time to start, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times on the exact same volume. And again, this is representative of just one of your lines. To max the plan out, you'd have 3 lines or more if you choose. So this leadership development bonus is extremely powerful. Now check this out. Imagine that this second E3, so here you are, imagine that this entire E3 organization is actually represented right here. So in other words, that whole thing you just saw, let's pretend that that's all here in this example of one block of an E3, their whole group. Well, in this plan, you don't just check match on one generation of E3s. You check match on 2 generations of these elites going down your line. So very, very powerful component of the Modere compensation plan. In fact, the numbers that we've seen with this, Modere already in 18 months has 9 people making over $1 million a year or more. Now, let me translate that language. This is a very important stat. Sometimes in networking, they'll say he or she is $1 million earner. And what that means is a cumulative. In the last 27 years, they've made an accumulative $1 million, which is great. Awesome. I'm saying to you, we have 9 people making $1 million in a year. And $1 million in a year is $83,000 a month or more. So the back end of this plan is extremely rich and extremely powerful. And in fact, as we continue to build out the customer aspect of our business with these pods and this 8-generational leap unilevel, I think this plan will produce some of the biggest networking checks that the profession has ever seen because of the power of that leadership development bonus, check matching on 8-generation deep unilevels that are chock full of massive, massive pods of customers. Now, leads to our elite lifestyle bonus. Basically, when you become an elite 1 within your first 12 months, there's a $250,000 bonus that's paid out over 2 years. So the $250,000 bonus is paid out over 2 years in addition to all your other commission we just walked through. However, if you start to develop some of your leaders into elites, there's also a $1 million cash bonus that you can get as well. That one also is paid out over a period of 2 years, but it accumulates. So there's these different bonuses stacked, so you'd have a total for $1 million bonus. Now, let me get into immediate strategy. That was some more conceptual stuff, walking through how the plan works in more conceptual terms. Let me walk you into, like, what would you do today? Let me walk you into more of the behaviors we would do. And as I walk you through this, I want you to be thinking of what your strategy would be for you personally, but also I'm going to see if I can help you think outside yourself and think about some of the folks that you would go recruit, how you would share this information with them of how you're going to help them to succeed. Because there's that old adage that says if you help enough other people get what they want, you can have everything that you want. So let's walk through this real quick. Between today, the minute you're hearing this, and October 17th, when we launch this new M1 anti-aging technology, which is game-changing technology, when we launch that, we are doing what we call a Get 3 Team 3 promotion. Now, I already know what we're launching on October 17th, so if you're the kind of person that says, well, until I know exactly what you're going to like what we're launching on October 17th more than what I'm going to show you right here. And right now, like, I've never seen a bonus this lucrative in my life. Okay, so what we're launching in October, it's awesome. The whole model, the whole offer of what we're bringing people is just unbelievable. It will be, no one will be able to compete with that offer. No one in the direct sales world and no one in the retail world. It's going to be a very compelling offer. So let me walk you through how this works. It's $399 to join Modere. That $399 is $540 worth of product. So you get $400. You pay $400 for $540 worth of product, and then there's a $29.95 registration fee. When you order that collection, you also get free shipping. So that's the $399. There's also a $99 a month loyalty program. Here's how that works. $99 a month, you can certainly order more, but that $99 a month, every time you have 3 new customers in a month in your pod, the $99 is free. You basically get a free shopping credit to Modere.com. So there's no forced auto ships. This is stuff that you can absolutely earn through your performance. Now, Get 3 Team 3. When you enroll 3 people at the $399, you'll make $500 next week. These are all payable the next week. When you enroll 6 people, you'll make $1,100. When you enroll 9 people, you'll make $1,800. When you enroll 12 people, you'll make $3,000 cash. Now, let me walk you through, that's the Get 3 part. Let me walk you through the Team 3 part. So you get 3 and you help them to get their 3. You'll have made $1,400. You get 6 and you help them to get their 3. You've made $3,200. Get 9, help them to get their 3. You made $6,100. Get 12, help them to get their 3, and you make $10,300. So here's what I want to share with you on this bonus, this promotion. Very simple to understand, very simple to explain. So if you're, let me give you a little bit more of an aggressive strategy, right? Maybe this isn't for everybody, but if you were to call 12 of your friends and you say, hey, look, here's what we're doing. Helping to launch a new company, really excited about it. Here's what we're doing. I'm going to help 12 people this month make their first $500 in our company. When you help those 12 people make $500, that means you've helped those 12 people get their 3. You've now made $10,300. You build a great story. If you want even a little bit more aggressive strategy, if you were to help 12 people make $3,000. So in other words, you were to help 12 people that you personally enroll make $3,000. between right now and October 17th, when this promotion ends, you would actually make just over 23,000. So you can kind of put together your strategy the way that you feel comfortable. If you want to just kind of focus on helping everyone with the basic building block of getting their first three, that's fantastic. You can start to see how you can start to build your strategy, your income based on this. Now, we have a super simple system with Modere. We call it one voice. Our whole idea is that we speak loudest as a community of social marketers, and we speak with one voice. So it's kind of an ABC 1, 2, 3 model, but the A is enrolled as a social marketer. That's the $29.95 plus the $3.99. That's the social marketer collection that has the new M1 plus about 18 other products. So it's about $540 worth of Modere products. And then join the social marketer loyalty program. That's the $99. And again, every time you get three new customers in your pod, you'll get the 3 new customers with 150 points worth of orders. You get the free $99 shopping credit. And then last is follow our 3 steps to a 90-day path to escape. So let me walk you through some of the cool things the company does as we get going. When you enroll your first person, in your first 90 days, because we're a lifestyle brand, in your first 90 days, when you enroll your first person, you're on what's called the path to escape. When you become a team leader and you've enrolled 9 people, you earn what's called a Modere experience. So this is all in addition to your commission, but it's kind of cool. You can win a brand new custom suit. We'll give you a brand new GoPro camera and push you out of an airplane. You can go skydiving. You can get a StitchFix.com shopping spree. You can get Merry Maids to deep clean your house every month for the next 6 months. You can get a weekly mani-pedi. I mean, you can kind of pick these different customizable Modere experiences. One other thing I want to point out, there's companies that have like promotions with an iPad or promotions with different things, and you either win it or you don't. And once you either win it or don't, you're toast. That's it. It's over. These Modere experiences, you can win twice a year, every year. You can win them over and over and over and over and over. So my wife and I just won one, and I said, "Sweetheart, what do you want?" And she picked a $500 shopping spree, right? So she was going to go shopping, and she certainly earned that. So you can win them over and over and over. It's kind of a cool promotion as part of the lifestyle bonus that we have with Modere. And what I want to share with you is this. The fastest way to win them is in your first 90 days. The second way you win them is through a point system. Every time you do something positive, you get points. You can accrue points. So that's how that works. Now, the next thing is this. We also do, twice a year, we send people on 5-star retreats, and we call them Modere escapes all over the world. We're actually leaving here to Puerto Vallarta next week. And so these are really kind of fun. They're all expense paid trip for 2. My wife and I are taking our 4 kids on this next one. So it's kind of fun to be able to go on these really exotic, cool trips, but be able to do it with your whole family. So when you enroll 12 social marketers and you become a Director 1, Director 1, as you remember, is 12,000 in volume. Now, here's what I want to share with you. I remember one of the first trips I went on in networking, in my early career, I had about 350,000 in volume when I went on that trip. And what I want to share with you is this. Very few folks can go on that trip because most folks don't have those types of businesses, Well, you can win this trip when you're at 12,000 in volume. So we have people that will win these in a day, 37 days, that kind of thing. They can really come in, set their sights on it, and go, hit the trip and go with their significant other on these all expense paid, all your airfare, all your lodging, all your food, etc., and just really have an incredible escape. Part of the strategy I'd encourage you to build is how many folks can you help get on the trips? How many people can you help get through that 90-day path to escape? You help 3 people escape, you'll be approximately a D3. You'll have a $3,000 to $5,000 a month income. Again, I'm not trying to give a guarantee, but right in that range. Help 6 people escape, you'll be right around an E1 with a range of about $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Help 12 people escape an Elite 2 with a range of about $14,000 to $20,000 a month or more. And then help 24 folks escape on that trip. And you're be around the E3 range, which again is $25,000 to $50,000 a month or more. Obviously, we have people making way more than that. You might have some people who make less than that. That's how averages work. So excited that you're here looking at this. With the combination of a single product focused technology with this new anti-aging technology, which by 2020 is supposed to be the next $1 trillion industry, combined with the depth and breadth of back end and people who join our mission to live clean. So they have clean label products that are affordably priced, that are super effective and very safe. Those two combinations, combined with our power from the retail side to right now average 10 to 1 customers, well, I think we can get that to 15 to 20 to 1. In the next 5 years, if we can go put in 1 million social marketers, which is my goal, and we average 10 to 1, we'll be at 10 million homes that live clean. If we average 15 to 20 to 1, we'll be at 15 to 20 million homes that live clean. So we have a big vision and a big goal and big strategies to go pull all this off. Now, I would encourage you to get back with the person that shared this with you. The compensation structure drives the behaviors. The behaviors that this compensation plan will drive are two things: acquire customers and become and develop leaders. Those are the two things that create true lasting residual income, as long as you have what I just shared with you, the depth and breadth of products. You look at all the billion-dollar networks, they all look kind of similar, the depth and breadth of products, and then they'll have runs with single product focuses. So very exciting time. Grateful to be able to share this with you. I apologize again for my voice. Next time we talk, I'm sure I'll have a little bit of a more clear tone, but honored to be with you. I look forward to